In the annals of rock history, countless legendary tales have emerged from some of the biggest bands to ever grace the stage. Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off a bat in 1982, Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page dating a 14-year-old girl, formerly involved with David Bowie, and Nikki Sixx of Mötley Crüe literally dying and coming back to life. These rock icons lived lives as loud and dangerous as their music. Yet, ACDC stories often top the lists of insane band trivia. From drugs and dementia to the death of guitarist Malcolm Young, it's a long way to the top, but a fast trip all the way down. There are wild stories involving rock stars, and then there are those that border on criminal. In the case of drummer Phil Rudd, this tale definitely falls into the latter category. Although specifics of the crime have been suppressed, Rudd was charged with attempting to hire a hitman, threatening another person's life, and possession of methamphetamine. The intended targets? Rudd allegedly offered his hitman approximately $133,000 and the sports car of his choice to kill a contractor and his daughter. After pleading guilty, Rudd was sentenced to 8 months of house arrest. Perhaps the most infamous ACDC story is also their most tragic. After 6 years and 7 albums with the band, original vocalist Ronald Belford Bon Scott died at the age of 33. Following a heavy night of drinking at the London club The Music Machine, Scott was left to sleep off the alcohol in a friend's car. The next morning, however, Scott's lifeless body was discovered. He was pronounced dead on arrival as soon as the ambulance reached the hospital. The official cause of death was acute alcohol poisoning. Though many fans believe Scott's death remains an ongoing mystery, some speculate that the car's exhaust fumes were the true culprit, while others blame the negligence of a third party, pointing to Scott's asthma and suggesting that the freezing weather might have contributed to his death. In any case, Scott's demise was classified as death by misadventure in the official ruling. In what has been dubbed Operation Nifty Package, the U.S. military planned to extract dictator Manuel Noriega from his bunker in December 1989 using the power of rock music. Noriega, then the dictator of Panama, had taken refuge from U.S. attacks in the Apostolic Nunciature of the Holy See, essentially an embassy for the Vatican. Without attacking the Pope's territory directly, the American military faced a dilemma: how to bring Noriega to justice without a firefight. The solution? Among other songs, You Shook Me All Night Long by ACDC. By mounting industrial speakers and cranking the volume, the U.S. military blasted high-powered rock music directly at the Nunciature. Eventually, the relentless noise became too much for Noriega, and he surrendered. Sometimes a band rocks so hard that the resulting sonic disruption causes actual fires to erupt. Either that, or some ironic deity chose an opportune time for ACDC's amp to surge with power and suddenly burst into flames. In the case of Angus Young, the legendary guitarist's amp spontaneously combusted in 1977 while he was recording the solo for Let There Be Rock. While this occurrence is definitely uncommon, it happened again while the band was recording their 2014 album, Rock or Bust. According to Young, "Yes, it was on fire and I had to keep playing until the end because my brother was in the control room yelling out, 'Keep going.' So I had to keep going until the thing kind of went into meltdown. And on this album, Rock or Bust, we had the same thing and my amp just went on fire. And I didn't even know. I thought it was a cigarette going. But Brendan was shouting out, 'Ang, you're on fire.'" Following the passing of bandmate Bon Scott, then new vocalist Brian Johnson recalled a night in 1981 or 1982 when Malcolm Young suggested they visit the infamous Loch Ness in Scotland. Their plan was to lure out one of the world's most well-known urban legends using only a box of fireworks. As Johnson recalls, "We walked straight into the water. We didn't even take our shoes off. And there we were giggling and laughing, trying to set these fireworks. Everything got soaked in the water and we all fell down, and of course we thought we had seen it. We weren't sure." Dating back to their inception in 1973, ACDC has seen a steady rotation of band members. with Angus and Malcolm Young being the constants. The original lineup also included vocalist Dave Evans, bassist Larry Van Crete, and drummer Colin Burgess. Since then, it's been a real who made who, with 26 members rotating in and out of the band. While some were strictly touring musicians, the notorious stories surrounding the band might explain why some members haven't stuck around for long. Most notably, the firing of longtime singer Brian Johnson in 2016 sent ripples throughout the music industry. Fans were even more surprised when none other than Axl Rose was announced as his replacement for the foreseeable future. When Highway to Hell rips through the speakers at your local bar, it's easy to forget those chords are being blasted out by a man who routinely wears a schoolboy uniform in front of thousands of people, even though he's in his 60s. But Angus Young is no ordinary schoolboy. His penchant for bizarre costumes didn't even begin with his schoolboy gear. He's been seen in a gorilla suit, a Zorro outfit, and even a Superman costume, to name a few. In 1974, while performing at Sydney's Victoria Park, Angus donned his Year 11 Ashfield Boys High School blazer, an idea pitched by Malcolm and their sister Margaret. Wearing tiny children's clothing to a high-profile concert may seem out there, but the effort paid off. Malcolm revamped the entire band's wardrobe after the gig, except for Angus's. He was allowed to keep the schoolboy outfit, and he wore it from then on. It's no secret that some musicians have certain dietary quirks. Elvis Presley famously enjoyed his fried peanut butter and banana sandwich, while Axl Rose prefers fresh Wonder Bread white, paired with Dom Perignon, and Angus Young. Interestingly, Young's culinary preference is for something a bit simpler: a chip buddy, which is essentially a sandwich made with bread, butter, and French fries. During a Reddit Ask Me Anything, AMA, Young humorously remarked, "If you said to me, would you rather have a chip buddy or dine with the president? I'd say the chip buddy, and he'd probably follow suit." During her Live Divas Las Vegas performance in 2002, Celine Dion, joined by special guest Anastasia, took on ACDC's iconic hit, You Shook Me All Night Long. The result? A mashup of one of the most elegant voices in the adult contemporary genre, interpreting a voice known for its rough, bourbon-soaked sound, akin to the engine of a '57 Chevy pickup trying to turn over. The sight of a grown man in a schoolboy costume might not seem the most intimidating, but Angus Young is known for not backing down from a confrontation, regardless of his attire. During the Phoenix, Arizona Bad Boy Boogie concert in 2000, as the band was gearing up to play another hit, a beer was hurled at Angus Young's head. While Malcolm Young kept the music going, Angus approached the culprit in the crowd, only to have another beer thrown at his face. Remaining composed, Angus handed his guitar over, pointed out the fan, and beckoned him past the security barrier. What could have escalated into a full-on brawl in front of thousands instead saw Young playfully tweak the man's nose before security escorted him away from the venue. There's no denying that original singer Bon Scott was a legendary songwriter. Many of ACDC's most iconic songs, such as Highway to Hell, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, and It's a Long Way to the Top, originated from Scott's creative mind. Since his passing in February 1980, there have been speculations among fans that the band might have used unused lyrics from Scott's journals. However, guitarist Angus Young has vehemently denied these claims. In a Reddit Ask Me Anything, AMA, Young clarified, anything he left went back to his family. Any notes he had ever left or messages. Anything that was there that was his all went to his family. This statement underscores the respect and integrity the band maintains regarding Scott's legacy and creative work. In November 2017, Malcolm Young, rhythm guitarist and co-founder of ACDC, passed away at the age of 64 due to complications from dementia. Since the band's inception in 1973, Malcolm was instrumental as one of the primary songwriters, crafting the classic guitar riffs for iconic songs like Back in Black, Thunderstruck, and Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. While some bands are known for one-hit wonders or a brief flurry of hits, Young's compositions have endured for nearly half a century. Despite the band experiencing various changes over the years, Malcolm Young's only hiatus from ACDC was when he sought treatment for alcohol abuse. Throughout his career, Young remained steadfastly dedicated to the band, driven by a strong work ethic shaped by his upbringing. As he told Rolling Stone in 2008, "I've never felt like a pop star. This is a 9-to-5 sort of gig. It comes from working in the factories, that world. You don't forget it." This attitude not only defined his approach to music but also contributed to AC/DC's enduring legacy in rock and roll history. If you watch till the end, you will also like this one.